Hello everybody and welcome back to Doki Literature Club Plus. Once again, let's just get right back into it so we can finish this video up. Because these are going to start getting a lot longer as we keep going through. Load the game. Alright. Another day passes and it's time for the club meeting already. I've gotten a little more comfortable here over the past couple days. Entering the club room, the usual scene greets me. Hi, Clint. Yo, Sayori. Okay, then. Looks like you're in a good mood today. I'm just still not used to you being in the club, that's all. I see. That's a pretty simple thing to get you in a good mood. But I guess it's always the simple things with you anyway. Speaking of which, I'm kinda hungry. Will you come with me to buy a snack? No thanks. Eh? That's not like you at all. I have my reasons. Why don't we take a look at your purse, Sayori? Why that, all of a sudden? No reason, really. I just wanted to look at it. Sayori nervously retrieves her coin purse. She fumbles with the latch and gets it open. Then she turns it upside down and lets its contents spill out onto the desk. Only 2 coins fall out. I knew it. I can see right through you, Sayori. That's not fair. How did you even know? It's simple. If you had enough money in the first place, you would have bought a snack before coming to the... So either you're not hungry to take a walk, or plan to conveniently forget that you spent your money so that I would lend you some. But there's one more thing. You're always hungry. And so that only leaves the one option. I give up. Don't make me feel guilty. If you feel guilty, that means you deserve to feel guilty. Oh, shit. What did she just say? Oh, she just laughed, okay. Back to the game then. Yuri suddenly giggles. Eh? I didn't notice that she was listening in. Her face is in her book, as always. I wasn't listening or anything. It was just something in my book. Yuri! Tell Clint about me borrowing money. That's me involved like that, Sayori. Besides, you should only buy what you can responsibly afford. And frankly, after pulling a mischievous little stunt like that, your suffering is fair enough. I didn't mean that. I got too absorbed into my book. I really like when you speak your mind, Yuri. It doesn't happen much, but it's a fun side of you. There's no way you could think that. No, I did something bad and not accept the retribution. That. Still, coming from you, Sayori, I guess there's a little devil inside all of us, isn't there? Don't let her fool you. Sayori knows exactly what she's doing. After all, she told you guys she was bringing me to the club before she even told me. But you wouldn't have come if it weren't for the cupcakes. So I had to trick Natsuki into making... Come on, more credit than that, Sayori. Out of nowhere, something smacks Sayori in the face and tumbles onto the desk. Blap. Yeah. Ow. What was that? A cookie! Sure enough, it's a giant cookie wrapped in plastic. Sayori, is this a... It's because of my restitution. Actually, that one almost worked. I was just gonna give it to you, but then I heard you blab about the cupcakes. It was totally worth it. Natsuki, that's so nice of you. I'm so happy. Sayori hugs the cookie. Jeez, just eat it. Sayori rapidly tears open the wrapper and takes a big bite. Oh god. I hit the A button, hold on. Sayori suddenly clasps her hands over her mouth. I bit my tongue. You're going through a lot of cookie. Natsuki takes a bite of her own cookie. Ah, yours looks really good too, Natsuki. Can I try it? Jeez, beggars can't be choosers. But yours is chocolate. Yeah, why do you think I gave you that one? Fine. Still, I'm really happy that you shared this one with me. Sayori gets out of her seat and goes behind Natsuki, then wraps her arm. Jeez, I get it. Cookie's still in. Natsuki reaches up to knock Sayori off of her. While Sayori suddenly leans down and takes a bite out of Natsuki's cookie. Hey! Did you just do that? Mouth full, Sayori trots away to safety. Here as well. Gee times. He tells Sayori, eh? Natsuki glances around. Monica isn't in the club room. Ugh, where's Monica anyway? Good question. Have any of you heard anything about her being late today? Not me. Yeah, I haven't either. Usual. I hope she's okay. Of course she's okay. She probably just had something to do today. She's pretty popular after all. Eh? You don't think she has a... I wouldn't be surprised. She's probably more desirable than all of us combined. That's true. Excuse me? Suddenly the door swings open. Sorry, I'm super sorry. Ah, there you are. I didn't mean to be late. I hope you guys weren't worried or anything. Eh? Monica chose the club over her boyfriend after all. You're so strong-willed. Boyfriend? What on earth are you talking about? Monica quizzically glances at me. Ah, never mind that. What held you up anyway? Ah, today was study hall. Lost track. Haha. That makes no sense though. You would have heard the bell ring at least. I must not have heard it since I was practicing piano. Piano? I wasn't aware you played music as well, Monica. I don't really. I just kind of started recently. Piano. It's so cool. You should play for us, Monica. That's... Monica looks at me. Maybe wants to get a little... Yay! That sounds cool. I'd also look forward to it. Is that so? In that case, I won't let you down, Clint. Monica smiles sweetly. I didn't mean any prep. I've been practicing a lot recently. And I'd really love the chance to share once I'm ready. I see. In that case, thanks. So, I didn't miss anything, did I? Not really. I chose to leave out Sayori's mischievous escapade. I'm sure Natsuki will end up complaining to her anyway. It looks like everyone has already settled down. Sayori somehow already finished her entire cookie. Yuri is back to her book, and Natsuki disappeared into the closet. Clint! Sayori suddenly comes up to me. I'm gonna go get some supplies from another classroom. Wanna come with me? Supplies? What for? Well, you know how the festival is coming up? Me and Monica were gonna make some posters and stuff. So I need to go markers and glue stick. Ah, I see. I'll go with you. Yay! Okay, Monica, we'll be back soon. Ah, are you going with Clint to get the supplies? There's no need to trouble yourself. I'd be happy to go with him. Aw, but I wanted to go. It's some exploring empty classrooms and stuff. Okay, it was just a suggestion. See if you can find poster paper too, okay? Okay. Ready, Clint? Yep, let's go. Sayori and I exit the club room. I follow behind as Sayori hums and skips around the hallway. Honestly, it feels like I'm talking to a kid at the mall or something. Or, not talking to a kid at the mall. Taking a kid to the mall. There we go. Sayori finds pleasure in the simplest things sometimes. Hey Sayori, what exactly are we doing for the festival anyway? I'm not sure how you would make an event out of literature. Me and Monica have it all planned out. Don't you worry. Is that so? Yep. We're gonna do a poetry performance. A performance? Of what kind? Well, everyone's gonna take turns on stage and recite their favorite poems. Ah, that sounds kind of dull. Clint, you're not thinking at all. It's not just about reading poems, it's about performing them. Like, you say the lines of the poem like, between my feet, the last remaining flower beckons to me. I twist the stem, freeing it from its clinging roots, caressing the final joyous moment between my... But to what ends this joy? For now, when I look in every direction, the once prosperous field before me is but a barren wasteland. Like that. Sayori, how do I put this? I'm sure it's just impossible for me to take you seriously when you talk like that. You meanie. I'm working super hard on this, you know. Ah, I know. I just meant that it's a pretty unordinary contrast to your cute self. Don't say that, it's embarrassing. But I guess that means I'm doing a good job. Yeah, I guess so. Ah, I'm so excited. The festival's going to be so much fun. Sayori spins herself around in the hallway again. Hey, classroom over here is empty. Let's begin the mission. The mission, eh? It's been a long time since I've spent time with Sayori like this. But in the end, she hasn't changed one bit. She's nothing but a ball of sunshine, drawing happy vibes from the world around her. It's a pretty nostalgic feeling for me. As the years went by, I began to hold myself up in my room more and more. So going adventuring with Sayori brings about a special sort of feeling I forgot I had in me. Enter the classroom. Sayori heads straight to the closet, and I follow. Let's see what we have in here. Crayons! Sayori pulls a box full of crayons off the shelf. They're the best brand, too. They're kind of dirty, though. Sayori starts pulling various crayons out of the box. Alright, that's one down. Don't get distracted, we still need to find... Wait, I'm looking for my favorite color. Fine. Then at least move aside so I can look for the poster paper. Ah, I dropped one by accident. Smack. Yeah. Sayori bends over and smacks her forehead right into the shelf. She hits the floor and the crayons spill all over her lap. Ow. And then this is when we get another character graphic image. You okay? My forehead. Sayori clutches her forehead. Geez, Sayori, that's just in it. Come on, let me see. Since Sayori is sitting on the floor, I grab her by the waist and pull her out of the closet. You have to move your hands, Sayori. But it hurts. For a sec. Sayori slowly releases her hands from her forehead. I gently brush her bangs to the side. Ow. Sorry. There's a huge red mark in the center of her forehead. A bump is starting to form as well. Man, it's gonna swell up. I should find you some ice. Clint, where would I even find ice around this time? I guess a cold drink would do. I don't have to. I'm fine looking like a unicorn. Even wincing from the pain, Sayori makes a silly joke. What are you saying? I'll be right back, okay? Oh, okay. I pat Sayori on the shoulder and run out into the hallway. I locate the nearest vending machine. What should I get? It doesn't really matter. It will be used as an ice pack rather than the drink. But I know Sayori likes apple juice, so I purchased that one. In just a moment, I'm already returned to the classroom where I left Sayori. She has one palm on her forehead and is using the other hand to clumsily scoop crayons back into the box. At least they were already in the wrong spots before I spilled them. Sayori, here. I hand Sayori the bottle of apple juice. Sayori opens the cap and starts... Sayori, what are you doing? It's for your forehead, idiot. Sorry, I forgot. How hard did you hit your head? Sayori places the bottle against the bump on her head. It stings. Bear with it. It'll feel better soon. Hey, this kind of reminds you of growing up, doesn't it? Eh? What do you mean? You know, how we used to play outside all the time. Keep up with you. You were kind of oblivious in some ways. Like, I usually fell behind or had trouble climbing on the things you did. But sometimes when I tried to do things I couldn't, I would get myself hurt. I'd fall and scrape myself, or get a bump, and I would start crying really hard. Haha. And you would rush over as quick as you could. You would try really hard to get me to stop crying. It was almost like you blamed yourself and were afraid of getting in trouble if you found out. Even if it wasn't your fault at all, you know? Did I really do that? Yeah, you don't remember? Come to think of it, maybe I do remember a bit. I guess I was always so focused on my games I didn't pay enough attention to you. So in a way, it was my fault. Kinda like this time too. If I wasn't rushing you out of the closet, you'd hit your head. You realize it, thinking about other people. Even after all these years. You're rushing to help me, even though I'm just being clumsy. You're really a sweetheart. Don't call me that. Do this kind of thing all. I guess when it comes to you, it just feels natural. Before I even know it, I'm treating you like that. I guess that's what happens when you've been friends for so long. Really? I'm so glad that nothing's changed. Do you think it'll be like this forever? Forever? If I'm honest to myself, there's no telling where we'll end up for college or after that. So it wouldn't be fair for me to make any promises. But, well, I hope so. If it's been this long already, right? I can't imagine you ever changing, so my hopes are up. I'm so happy. Sayori has a whimsical eye. We remain silent for a moment. She's so silly and clumsy on the outside that when I see her deep in thought like this, it makes me not want to disturb her. I guess we should go back. I don't want to worry Monica, you know? Good luck with that. She's gonna see your forehead either way. Not if I hide it under my bangs. Sayori hops to her feet. Ah, Jen. Don't stand after hurting yourself. Well, I guess it's too late now. Anyway, let's go. I follow Sayori out of the classroom. Sayori plays with her bangs to try to hide the bump, but without much success. In a moment, we make it back to the club room. Ah, you're back. Good timing. I was just about ready to start with sharing our poems. Sayori, your forehead. She's fine, don't worry about... I was playing with the crayons and smacked my forehead into the shelf. Well, anyway, were you able to find everything we needed? Uh-huh, I have it right. Sayori frantically glances around herself. I forgot all the stuff. Calm down, Sayori. I have it all right here. I found the poster paper too. Haha, sounds like you ended up doing all the work, Clint. Well, Sayori, I failed to come up with an excuse for Sayori. I made it an adventure. Yeah, that. Haha, okay. In any case, good work. I'll start working on the posters tonight. Me too. Okay, everyone. Are you ready to share your poems? Guess I should grab mine. After making sure the crayon box is closed tightly, I return to my seat. Once again, we're just going to list, starting with Sayori. Clint, I really love your poems. I can't believe you've been hiding these from me. Hiding anything. But your poems are so good. Yesterday's and this one too. You can't tell me you haven't done this before. I mean, you're really the only one who feels that way, so... No way. Not even Natsuki? Well, I guess Natsuki is at least admit how much she likes something. I think it's that. What do you mean? Well, I guess I'll be honest about it. It's a lot easier to write poems when I'm thinking about you. Stop thinking weird things, idiot. I just mean that you're a really expressive person, I guess. I'm supposed to write poems about my own but you somehow make sure. Even like cooking. Let's not talk about that. So yeah, I guess what I'm trying to say, or I guess what I'm saying is that I can feel more feelings through you than I can through myself. Weird connection. Your fault for getting in my business all the time. I don't know if I understand. You never understand when I try to explain things to you, do you, Sayori? I pat Sayori's head. Hey, I'm not a kid, you know. Are you sure about that? Maybe. Sayori starts fiddling with her pen in her hands. Would you give me your poem? Would you give me your poem? Keep it. Huh? Because it's the first time you've written. Sayori, you completely understood. I didn't write this for you. Are you even listening anymore? Well, whatever. When we go home. Snap. I think she snapped her pencil. I broke my pencil. Yep. Sayori hastily bends down to pick up the piece she dropped. But being inattentive of her surroundings, she bumps right into me. Sorry. It's fine. I bend down and pick up the broken pencil. Sayori clutches the desk beside her to support herself, knees shaking. I'm a little clumsy today. Haha. Let's sit down, Sayori. Yeah. I grab Sayori's arm and help her sit at the desk. Anyway, I still haven't read your poem. Oh, sorry, but it's not as good as yours. Jeez, don't worry. I'm sure I'll like it. Bottles. I pop off my scalp like the lid of a cookie jar. It's the secret place where I keep all my dreams. Little balls of sunshine all rubbing together like a bundle of kittens. I reach in thumb and forefinger and pluck one out. It's warm and tingly. But there's no time to waste. I put it in a bottle to keep it safe. And I put the bottle on the shelf with all of the other bottles. Happy thoughts and bottles all in a row. My collection makes me lots of friends. Each bottle is starlight to make amends. Sometimes my friend feels a certain way. Down comes a to save the day. Night after night, more dreams. Friend after friend, and more bottles. Deeper and deeper my fingers go, like exploring a dark cave, discovering the secrets hiding in the nooks and crannies. Digging and digging, scraping and scraping. I blow dust off my bottle caps. It doesn't time elapsed. My empty shelf could use some more. My friends look through my locked front door. Finally, all done, I open up and in come my friends. In they come in such a hurry. Do they want my bottles that much? I frantically pull them from the shelf, one after the other, holding them out to each and every friend. Each and every bottle. But every time I let one go, it shatters against a tile between my feet. Happy thoughts and shards all over the floor. They were supposed to be for my friends who aren't smiling. They're all shouting, pleading, something. But all I hear is echo, 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 echo inside my head. Holy crap. Sayori, did you really write this? Of course I did. Didn't I tell you yesterday I was going to write the best poem? Yeah, but I didn't expect something like this coming from you. Monica taught me a whole lot, and I've been really in touch with my feelings recently. I see that. It's almost kind of creepy. Creepy? Well, not exactly. Maybe because I'm so used to you being cheerful. Well, never mind. I'm thinking too hard about it. The point is, it came out good, so you should be proud of it. Thanks. I feel like I was meant to express myself this way. It even helps me understand my own feelings a little bit better. Writing is like magic. You've gotten pretty passionate about this, huh? I hope you keep it up. Yeah, writing's the best. I'm gonna keep writing until I die. Don't get ahead of yourself. Sayori's always had a habit of getting obsessed with something before dropping it no more than a week later. I wonder if this is one of those times. In her eyes makes me pessimistic. And now we go talk to Natsuki. Well, it's not really any worse than your last one, but I can't really say it's any better either. Phew. Huh? Phew what? Oh, it wasn't a train wreck I'll take as a win. And I get the feeling you're probably the most critical. Hey, what makes you... Wait, maybe that's a compliment? Haha, glad to see someone recognizes my experience. Well then, keep practicing and maybe you'll be as good as me someday. That's, something tells me Natsuki completely missed the point. Come to think of it, this reminds me from yesterday. Eh? You think so? Yeah, well I guess if you've been friends with her for so long, you're the same wavelength. But you never really struck me as her type. Sayori has a type all of a sudden? Well, I don't know, but honestly, how can someone so, fluffy could spend so much time with someone like you? It's like she's dragging around a dead weight. Well, that was a little unnecessary. But think of it this way. Probably fly away like letting go of a balloon. You could say we take care of each other in our own way. Whatever it is, I don't get it. Oh yeah, I guess I'm supposed to show you my poem. Here. Amy likes spiders. You know what I heard about Amy? Amy likes spiders. Icky, wriggly, hairy, ugly spiders. That's why I'm not friends with her. Amy has a cute singing voice. I heard her singing my favorite love song. Every time she sang the chorus, my heart would pound to the rhythm of the words. But she likes spiders. That's why I'm not friends with her. One time I hurt my leg really bad. Amy helped me up and took me to the nurse. I tried not to let her touch me. She likes spiders, so her hands are probably gross. That's why I'm not friends with her. Amy has a lot of friends. I always see her talking to people. She probably talks about spiders. What if her friends start to like spiders too? That's why I'm not friends with her. It doesn't matter if she has other hobbies. It doesn't matter if she keeps it private. It doesn't matter if it doesn't hurt anyone. It's gross. She's gross. The world is better off without spider lovers. And I'm gonna tell everyone. Not bad, right? It's quite a bit longer than yesterday's. Yesterday's was way too short. Warming up. I think that was the best I could do. No, of course not. Anyway, the message is pretty straightforward in this poem. I doubt I have to explain it. Sometimes you can explain complicated issues with much simpler analogies, and it helps people realize how stupid they're being. Like anyone would agree that the subject of this poem is an ignorant jerk. Do you know people like that? Of course, it's about how everyone... It doesn't matter. It can be about anything. I wrote it to be easy to relate to. Everyone has a weird hobby or a guilty pleasure. Something that you're afraid if people find out they make fun of you or think less of you. This makes people stupid. Who cares? As long as they're not hurting anyone, it makes them happy. I think people really need to learn to respect others for liking weird things. Well, you're definitely right. At least I can relate to that. And I'm sure a lot of other people can too. It's what I do best after all. I don't like writing unless it's a good message to take away from it. Emotions is important, but I want to make people think, not just feel. Remember that. I'm going to write a good one for tomorrow too, so look forward to it. Now we'll go to Yuri. Let's see what you've written for today. Well done, Clint. Your skills are already improved. Really? Thanks, Yuri. Coming from you, that means a lot. Eh? It's nothing. I'm just happy to help inspire fellow writers. I know you're new to this, so don't worry so much if it seems like you can't get your poem to feel perfect. You don't need to be afraid to be a little more daring. Metaphors can go a long way. A bent turn of gears. Try letting your mind wander through your feelings, and write down the things you see and hear. That's one way to truly enable your reader to see into your mind. It's a very intimate exercise. I see. That's a certainly interesting technique. Thanks for sharing. I have, well, an example of that if you'd like to read it. Of course. Is this the poem you wrote for today? Yuri nods and timidly hands me her poem. The Raccoon. It happened in the dead of night while I was slicing bread for a guilty snack. My attention was caught by the scuttering of a raccoon outside my window. That was, I believe, the first time I noticed my tendencies as an unordinary human. I gave the raccoon a piece of bread, my subconscious well aware of the consequences. Well aware that a raccoon that is fed will always come back for more. The enticing beauty of my cutting knife was the symptom. The bread, hungry curiosity. The raccoon, an urge. The moon increments its phase and reflects that much more light off of my cutting knife, the very same light that glistens in the eyes of my raccoon friend. I slice the bread fresh and soft, the raccoon becomes excited. Or perhaps I'm merely projecting my emotions onto the newly satisfied animal. The raccoon has taken to following me. You could say that we've gotten quite used to each other. The raccoon becomes hungry more and more frequently, so my bread is always handy. Every time I brandish my cutting knife, the raccoon shows me its excitement. A rush of blood, classic Pavlovian conditioning. I slice the bread, and I feed myself again. I was a little more daring with this one than yesterday's. I can see that. It's a lot more metaphorical. It's my fault, but I can't begin to what it's about. That's right. It's a bit closer to my preferred writing style, using the poem as a canvas to express vivid imagery and conveying emotions through them. Yeah, if I take it at face value, then I can't even figure out what it's supposed to mean. Well, I think it's people can relate to in their own way. I wanted to express it feels for me to indulge in my more unusual hobbies. It's those sorts of things that I'm usually forced to keep to myself, so I sometimes enjoy writing about them. Huh, that's funny. Didn't Natsuki also write something about that? About someone being ridiculed for a strange interest? Yeah, she was talking about how it doesn't matter what you're into as long as you're not hurting anybody. She's right. I mean, does she really feel that way? Yeah, sounds like you two have that in common. That's interesting. To me, she seemed like the kind of person who would make fun of my hobbies. But I suppose that's judging, isn't it? Please don't tell her I said that. Don't worry, I have no reason to. Okay, well, thank you for sharing it with me. After all, if I hadn't learned to embrace my own weirdness, I would probably hate myself. I might be ranting a little bit now, but I'm glad that you're a good listener. And for my... Hi again, Clint. How's the writing going? Alright, I guess. Like that. As long as it's not going bad. I'm happy that you're applying yourself. Maybe soon you'll come up... I wouldn't count on that. You never know. Want to share what you wrote for today? Sure, here you go. I give my poem to Monica. It's pretty good. Make the other one that you wrote. You two are like the dynamic duo. That's kind of exaggerating it. Yeah, probably. But you do spend a lot of time with her even in this club, don't you? Then again, I don't blame you for being a little shy. I'm not shy, it's just... I'm just teasing. I know it takes a bit of time to make friends with everyone. But Yuri and Natsuki are super interesting people, so don't be afraid to give them their share. And you can talk to me then too. I'm not like unapproachable or anything, am I? No, it's nothing like that. I'm just still getting used to being here, that's all. Yeah. I'm sorry if I was putting pressure on you or something. I really didn't mean it like that. No, don't worry. I get what you're saying. Well, alright. But anyway, you want to read my poem now? I like the way this one turned out, so I hope you do too. Alright, let's take a look. Save me. The colors, they won't stop. Bright, beautiful colors. Flashing, expanding, piercing. Red, green, blue. An endless cacophony of meaningless noise. The noise, it won't stop. Violent, grating waveforms. Squeaking, screeching, piercing. Sine, cosine, tangent. Like playing a chalkboard on a turntable. Like playing a vinyl on a pizza crust. An endless poem of meaningless. Load me. It's even more abstract than your last one, huh? I guess it's just the way I write. I'm sorry if you don't like it. No, I never said that. It's just the kind of thing I've never really seen before, I guess. I kind of like playing with my space on the paper. Choosing where and how to space your words can totally change the mood of the poem. It's almost like magic. The way I wrote the lines really short makes it feel like they're trying to speak over the noise. I see. It's still hard for me to tell what it's been about. It's still hard for me to tell what it's about. Sometimes asking what a poem is about isn't the right question. A poem can be as abstract as a physical expression of a feeling, or a conversation with the reader. So putting it that way, not every poem is about something. Anyway, here's Monica's writing tip of the day. Tip of the day. Ugh. Sometimes you'll find yourself facing a difficult... When that happens, don't... You never know when you might change your mind. Or when something unexpected may happen. Wait, is this even about writing? What am I even talking about? That's my advice for today. Thanks for listening. Okay, everyone. We're all done reading each other's poems, right? I have something extra planned for today, so if everyone's at the front of the room... Is this about the festival? Well, sort of. Do we really have to do something for the festival? It's not like we can put together anything good in just a few days. We'll just end up embarrassing ourselves instead of getting any new members. That's a concern of mine as well. I don't really do well with last-minute preparations. We're going to keep it simple. We won't need much more decorations. Sayori posters, and I've designed some we can give out during the event. Okay, that's great and all, but that doesn't tell us what we're actually going to be doing for the event. Ah, sorry, I thought you'd heard about it already. We're going to be performing. Performing? Monica? Yeah, we're going to have a poetry performance. Each of us are going to choose a poem event, but we're also going to let anyone else come up and recite poems. Sayori will post this in case anyone wants to prepare ahead of time. Sayori, who's been coloring a poster, holds it up for us to see. Are you kidding me, Monica? You didn't already start putting those posters up, did you? Well, I did. Do you really think it's that bad of an idea? Well, no. It's not a bad... I didn't sign up for this. There is no performing in front of a group of people like that. I agree with Natsuki. I could never, in my life, do something like that. Imagining it, Yuri shakes her head in fear. Guys... No, Sayori. I understand where they're coming from. Remember that we have never shown anyone until just a couple days ago. It's a lot for them to recite their poems out loud to a whole room full of people. I guess I kind of overlooked that. So I'm sorry. But I think we should give it our best. We're the only ones responsible for the fate of this club. If we start the event and each performance, then it will inspire us to do the same. The more people who perform, the will be able to show everyone what literature... Honestly, Natsuki in the eye over there. Yeah, it's about expressing your feelings, being intimate with yourself, finding new horizons, and having fun. That's right, and it's those reasons that we're all in this club today. Don't you want to share that with the others? To inspire them to find the same feelings that brought you here in the first place? I know you do. I know we all do. And if all it takes is standing in front of the room for 2 minutes and reciting a poem, then I know you can do it. Natsuki and Yuri remain silent. Sayori looks worried. I guess it leaves me no choice. I agree. I don't think it's too much to ask. I think that Sayori and Monica have been trying really hard to get new members. The least we can do is a little bit. Well, maybe, but... Looks like Natsuki doesn't have any arguments. Fine. I guess I'll just have to get it over with. Alright. Phew. Thanks, Natsuki. What about you, Yuri? Yuri dejectedly glances around at everyone else's expectant faces. I guess I really don't have a choice. Haha, that's everyone! You're the best, Yuri! This club is seriously going to be the death of me. Oh gosh. You'll be fine, Yuri. But anyway, let's move on to the main... I want each of you to choose a poem of yours. We're going to practice reciting them in front of each other. No way. Monica, this is too sudden. Well, if you can't recite your poems in front of the club, how do you expect to do it in front of strangers? Oh no. Don't worry. I'll start off to help everyone comfortable. Of course. Now let's see. Monica flips through her notebook to the specific poem she has in mind for herself. She then stands behind the podium. The title of this poem is The Way They Fly. Ahem. Monica begins the poem. Her clear, confident voice fills the room. More than that, her inflection is pristine. She knows exactly how to apply emotion behind each line she recites, bringing the words to life. Is this something she's done before, or is she simply a natural? I glance around me. Everyone has their eyes on Monica. Sayori looks amazed. Yuri has an intense expression on her face that I don't understand. Finally, Monica finishes the recitation. The four of us applaud. Monica takes a breath and smiles. That was so good, Monica. Thank you very much. I was just hoping to set a good example. Are you ready to go next, Sayori? I'll go next. What? You're as fired as sudden. Yuri gets a paper between her hands and stands. Keeping her head down, she walks quietly over to the podium. This poem is called... Yuri anxiously glances at each of us. You can do it, Yuri. It is called After Image of a Crimson Eye. Yuri shakes as she starts reading the poem. Just a moment ago, she practically refused to do this. Why is she suddenly putting in so much effort? As Yuri gets past the first couple of lines, her voice, it's almost like what happens over into her books. Spring words transform into the sharp syllables of a fierce and confident woman. The poem is full of turns in its structure that she enunciates with perfect timing. This must be a rare glimpse into the fire Yuri keeps concealed inside. Suddenly, she's finished. Everyone is stunned. Yuri snaps back into reality and glances around her, as if she bewildered even herself. It's up to me to save the situation. I'm the first to start applauding. Everyone joins me afterward, and we give Yuri the recognition she deserves. It's not that we didn't want to applaud for her, but we were so caught off guard, must have forgotten. As we applaud, Yuri holds the poem to her chest and rushes back into her seat. Yuri, that was really good. Thank you for sharing. Looks like Yuri is down for the count. Okay, I guess I'm next then. Sayori hops out of her chair and cheerfully walks to the podium. My meadow. Haha, giggled. Sayori. It's a lot harder than I thought. How did you guys do it easily? Try not to think of it like you're reciting to other people. Imagine you're reciting it to yourself, like in front of a mirror or in your own head. It's sure best that way. I see. Okay then. Sayori begins her poem. Somehow it feels like her soft voice was made as a perfect match. The poem isn't aimlessly cheery like Sayori is. It's serene and bittersweet. If I were to read this on paper, I probably wouldn't think much of it, but hearing it come from Sayori's voice almost gives it a whole new meaning. Maybe this is what Sayori meant when she said she likes my poems. It's like I get to reach more deeply into someone I thought I knew through and through. Sayori finishes and we applaud. I did it! Good job, Sayori. Even Clint liked it. I guess it's a good sign. What does that even mean? It came out nicely, Sayori. The atmosphere of the poem fits you really nicely, but it might be that other poems wouldn't work quite as well with that kind of delivery. I don't really understand. In other words, I've seen poems of yours where that sort of gentle delivery wouldn't work as well. They might need a little more force behind them depending on what you're reading. Oh, I know what you mean. Well, I've been practicing that kind of thing. It's embarrassing to do it in front of everyone. The next time I'm going to make you pick a poem that challenges you a little more. We don't have much time for the festival, you know. Okay. Now, who's next? Natsuki? Don't make me go before Clint. It's not like I can compare to you guys anyway. Might as well let Clint lower everyone's standards a little before I have to do it. Natsuki? It's fine. I might as well get it over with. But it's not like I have much of a selection of what to read. I'll just have to go with what I wrote for today. I stand up and step in front of the podium. Everyone has their eyes on me, making me feel terribly awkward. I recite my poem. Since I'm not exactly confident in my own writing, it's hard to put energy into it. Despite that, once I finish, I receive applause anyway. Sorry I'm not really as good as I... Don't worry about it so much. I think it's less about your abilities and your confidence in your writing. That's something that'll improve over time, though. Yeah, maybe. Alright then. That just leaves you, Natsuki. Yeah, I'm going. Natsuki grudgingly gets out of her seat and to the podium. It's called... Why are you all looking at me? Because you're presenting. Anyway, the poem was called Jump. Natsuki takes a breath. Once she starts reciting the poem, her sour attitude disappears a little. While she's still a little, has a rhythm and rhyme to it. It's Natsuki's trademark style, and it works surprisingly well when spoken aloud. The words feel like they bounce up and down, as if giving life to the poem. Natsuki finishes and everyone applauds. She hops back to her seat. That wasn't so bad, was it? Easy for you to say. You'd better not do that again. Feel prepared enough to do a poem in front of other people? I mean, doing it in front of other people would be way easier. I can put on whatever face I want for other people, but when it's just my friends, it's just embarrassing. That's a surprise, Natsuki. I think it would be the other way around for me. Well, that's so. You won't have much trouble. That's. I thank everyone for coming through. It might be hard, but I hope that you all have an idea of what it's like now. Make sure you pick a poem and get enough practice before the festival, okay? I'll be making Pam know ahead of time what you'll be doing. Jeez. Should probably find some other poem to recite instead. That's fine too. It doesn't have to be your own. I'm already pleasantly surprised that you're all putting in all this effort for the club. It makes me really happy. Yeah, no problem. Okay, everyone. I think that's about. I know the festival. Let's try to write poems for tomorrow as well. It's been working out really nicely so far, so I'd like to continue that. As for the festival, we'll finish planning tomorrow, and then we'll have the weekend to prepare. Shit. Money. I can do this. Alright. I stand up. There's no way I'll be able to find the same enthusiasm as Sayori and Monica, but I'll do my best to get through it. If it's for the sake of the club, and impressing Monica, then I'll have to do my best. Ready to go, Sayori? Yep. Look at you two, always going home together like that. It's kind of adorable, isn't it? Don't make such a big deal out of it. It must be a little nice, though. Well, how am I supposed to respond to that? It's okay, it's okay, Clint. You don't have to say it. Whatever, let's go already. I walk home with Sayori once more. Even though it's only been a few days, a lot of things have already changed. Today, Sayori is being on the way home. Hey, Sayori. Sorry, I was spacing. Ah, no wonder. I was something from earlier. I like to. I mean, Sayori fumbles with her words. So, let's just say that one day, you asked to walk home with you. Huh? What would you do? What kind of question is that? You're kind of putting me on the spot here. Oh, I was Sayori. Sayori, you really think that I would ditch you for Yuri? Eh? But, she's so beautiful and smart. Jeez. I already see her in the club every day. Besides, you always seem to really like going home together. I wouldn't just ruin that for you. You're so silly, Clint. You think much sometimes. If she wanted it, so... Sayori, I've already made up my... I really can't figure you out. Sorry. Besides, what's the point in speculating it's never going to happen? The conversation trails off. It's kind of a weird thing for Sayori to care so much about. But I want to respect her and keep her happy too. Then again, the festival's only a few days away. Who knows what will happen in that time? And now we'll do this poem, and then we're going to end the video here. So let's see, we need... we'll do Wonderful. We'll do Broken. We'll do Sing. We do Warm. I know Color was one. Tears is one. Clumsy. Alone. Awesome. Grief. That was a 1G word. Let's see. We could do Romance. Flying. You can do marriage. You can do laugh. We can do love. We can do forgive. We can do cry. We can do rainbow. We can do sadness. And we can do, let's see what else can we do. We can do vacation. Boom, perfect. That was the perfect poem for Sarah right there. It had to have been. Anyway, I guess we'll save it here and leave it for this episode. Or to save, yep. And then we'll even go back to the desktop and see what all I've unlocked. I got another side story. I got Understanding Part 1. Interesting, okay. And then pictures. I, of course, got all the poems. Oh, okay, apparently it splits. Sayori's poem, Natsuki's second poem. Oh, they're all 2 pages long. Yuri's second poem and then Monika's second poem. Okay. We also have Sayori's second character graphic. Acquisition procedure. Write a poem for Sayori in both the first and second poem games. Anything else new? Oh, yep. The sketch of Sayori's first CG, which would later be outlined, colored, and slightly adjusted to match the perspective of the background. Acquisition procedure. During the poem game, write a perfect poem for Sayori. There you go. And then the sketch of Sayori's second CG cut out and aligned with the angle of the background. Because the backgrounds were first rendered in 3D, some fine adjustments were required to make sure the 2D drawing of the character fit seamlessly into the perspective of the scene. Acquisition procedure. In Act 1, write all 3 poems for Sayori. Okay then. I also have this one here. A sketch page by David Evelyn to test and compare different hairstyles for Sayori. Acquisition procedure. In Act 1, tell Sayori you would still walk home with her. Aw. Yeah, so that's the end of this one. So, leave a like if you enjoyed, comment what you enjoyed about it, or any feedback you have for me. And also, I should mention too, yes, that time in the battle right is accurate. It is 4:21 a.m. in my time zone. Anyway, so subscribe if you haven't already. Be notified of when I upload a new. If you're on Twitch, make sure you're following me and catching the streams when I go live. I'm gonna try to come up with a new schedule soon. I just haven't gotten there yet. Probably won't have a proper schedule until after the first of the year. So what happens then? I'll see you guys in the next one.